North State Nationals at Tri-County. We'll talk to Landon Huffman about his $30,000 late model stock win and Caden Kvapil as he tries to close the gap in the championship fight. Stay tuned. Cars Tour Weekly presented by R&S Race Cars is next. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Cars Tour Weekly presented by R&S Race Cars. I'm Jess Ballard, joined again by JD Boucher, and all eyes were on Tri-County this past weekend. And JD, you were there.
Yeah.
What was it like?
It was so much fun. I got to hang out with some old friends, Chad and Steffi McCumbee, and just enjoy some really great racing. It was a crazy race. I feel like every 5 laps, there was a caution for something crazy. I mean, people are running out of gas. People are getting together. I mean, there was a lot of 3 and 4 wide racing. It was insane.
It was crazy, and the storylines were really, really great. So once again, we want to thank R&S Race Cars for being a part of the show this week. If you're looking for a late model stock chassis or additional services, including body hanging, building, and selling parts and turnkey purchases, look no further than R&S Race Cars. It's now time to take a break, but when we come back, we will talk to Landon Huffman coming off of his huge win at Tri-County. You're watching Cars Tour Weekly presented by R&S Race Cars.
What creates a winning combination? Quality, focus, discipline, and most importantly, speed. At Pepperjack Kennels, we provide exceptional water and land training services for hardworking retrievers. From leading in the field to leading on the track, together we establish winning dogs and a winning team. Devoted to retrievers and motorsports, we are Pepperjack Kennels. Visit us online to learn more.
HMS Motorsport is the leader in motorsport safety, providing the most advanced driver safety products to NASCAR, IndyCar, sprint cars, and sports cars drivers. From grassroots to professional racers, HMS Motorsport has over 25 years' experience outfitting drivers with the best gear on the market. Equipped with first-hand product knowledge, our experts are ready to help you select the best harness belts, seats, head restraints, helmets, and racing attire for your type of racing. HMS is even the exclusive importer for Schroed belts, Schubert helmets, and Valero base layers. Visit one of our stores in Mooresville, North Carolina, or Danvers, Massachusetts, or check us online at hmsmotorsport.com, where you can learn the details of our products and order online. Safety starts here.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
One of racing's crown jewels, the 50th annual Oxford 250 returns to Oxford Plains Speedway with 3 big days of racing, August 25th through the 27th. See North America's best short trackers battle for a chance at $50,000 on Sunday, August 27th. Plus, racing for the ACT late models, New England Super Modifieds, and more. It's the 50th annual Oxford 250, August 25th through the 27th, and you can see it all on Racing America.
Welcome back to Cars Tour Weekly presented by R&S Race Cars. We are joined now by this past weekend's winner of $30,000, Landon Huffman. Landon, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thank you guys for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Okay, so, I mean, what a great story to be the 2022 track champion. You know, I know you've run this series before, but in this context, I feel like you're the local ringer. Like, this is your home turf. And it's the storyline of the big series comes to the local track, and then the local guy wins. I mean, obviously, it's a little different because you have ran the Cars Tour before, but this is your first series win as well. It was such a feel-good story. I think everyone was so excited to see it. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it was definitely storybook. I actually haven't raced at Tri-County a ton in my life. I won the track championship at Hickory, but Tri-County being 30 minutes from my house, it's still obviously a local venue for me. Really just growing up, Tri-County wasn't racing weekly because, it was going through different ownerships and things of that nature. So it wasn't an active track for weekly competition whenever I first started racing late models. And I've had an opportunity to win there before in a 100 lap one-off late model race that they did back in 2016. But other than those Cars Tour races I had ran, through 17 and 18, I haven't been back and raced, but once this year with my own personal car. So just very cool to see. I can't believe that many people came out there to support me and, support the racetrack. The stands were packed, and it felt like everybody in the place was pulling for us for sure.
Yeah, I definitely got that vibe. I was hanging out with Chad and McCumbee, and we were parked next to you, and I watched your crew the last few laps, and they were ecstatic. It was so cool to watch them. But you came into this ride a little later in the season. The first three, Cale Gale was in it, and then you came in. Do you feel like coming in a couple races into the season that may have, slowed your momentum down, or kind of your adjustment period, or what was it like to come into an already established team that was already racing?
Yeah, well, I've raced my own race cars pretty much my whole life. I've had opportunity to race for a couple of different people, Jason Smith being one of them that I drove for a number of times at Hickory. But I've always had opportunity to work on those cars, even if I didn't own them throughout my time racing. So the Nelson opportunity, they were obviously struggling when I first arrived on the scene. I guess after the first Hickory race, which would have been the third race of the year, they had missed that race and. I got the call to go test for them, and then it led to the opportunity to race. And, I knew I was stepping into a situation where everyone on the team was brand new. Obviously there was a lot of turnover from the Nelson Motorsports of the past and the time when Bobby McCarty found so much success there, and really every other driver that came through there, always ran well. Caden won a race last year. So, yet last year was a down year for Nelson, I guess, in terms of what they had achieved in the past. But, obviously the tour is getting more difficult, and this series is getting more challenging by the week. And so I knew stepping into it, it was going to be a challenge, and it was. I mean, we had struggles. We fought, every single week to try to improve the program and get better. And I feel like the last, month and a half, 2 months of racing for us has been better, and we've slowly just been chipping away at it. And then, ultimately it led us to having an opportunity to win this past Saturday night, and the stars aligned. So,
Yeah, I feel like that's not only a huge win for you, but a huge win for them. And another reason why I feel like it feels like you were the hometown favorite in this race is I live in downtown Charlotte, but for some reason I still feel like you're my local hometown hero because of all the stuff you do on social media. And, Hickory being not too far away, Tri-County not being too far away. But I think a lot of other people, just feel very invested in your racing and your team. You take us along for everything that's going on behind the scenes. You're very active on social media. And I think that plays a huge role in the storyline here, is because it kind of feels like Landon Huffman is the true grassroots people's champion.
Yeah, I think that's honestly really cool. I mean, I never thought that starting my YouTube channel and doing what I've done would lead to that. And I think that that's super important because, there are guys out there like me that, have their own race cars and work really hard and do it just like I do. I feel like I've learned over time how to, I guess, portray my story or at least share my story with everyone so that people feel like they are involved. And I think that that's important for a grassroots fan to be able to relate to the drivers, because I know that in this day and age, it's very difficult for that, or very difficult to, achieve that, much less at a much higher level, like in the Cup Series or the Truck Series, et cetera. So I definitely think it's important for, the local fans. And, it's crazy how many people, reach out to me at every racetrack we go to. And even the people that have traveled to Hickory Motor Speedway from far, Colorado and California, and all these people are coming to literally Hickory Motor Speedway to watch a late model stock race. I think that's so cool, and it's only because they found it, online. So definitely a neat experience for me, and I feel like it's opened a lot of doors for me. Obviously, I mean, I think that one of the reasons that Barry Nelson took a chance on me and giving me an opportunity was because of, the reaction that I'm able to get out of, the general fan base. And, the tour was willing to continue to honor their Tour in 12 application if he were to bring me on. So that was a big beneficiary of that. And, I feel like we've honored that well and, represented it well.
Yeah, I feel like there was maybe a little hole in short track racing with someone producing that type of content at the rate you do consistently, and you definitely filled it, and it's so fun to follow along. Thanks, Landon, and it was great seeing you again. Congratulations on the big win. I won't ask you how you're going to spend your $30,000 because I'm sure it's on race car parts.
Yeah, that's probably a question for Barry Nelson, but just very thankful for the opportunity to sit behind a race car. I said this in my interview. To be honest with you, I got home Saturday night and I had zero recollection of anything that I said in my interview. And I totally blacked out. Like, it was the craziest moment of my life, especially my racing life. And so going back and watching the interview back, I was like fighting back tears. And, when I watched what I said, I'm like, yeah, I said that. Like, I wanted people to know how much it meant to me and my family. And, the Cars Tour is a regional touring division, but it is very difficult. And that is a massive accomplishment, to go out there and win at the Cars Tour at any level. So or at any week, much less a $30,000 week. So, just very grateful for the opportunity, and like I said, it's a blessing to sit in a race car each week, and hopefully it's the first of many.
Thanks, Landon.
Thank you guys for having me.
Well, coming up next, we are going to take a look at the highlights from Tri-County for the late model stocks and pro late models. More Cars Tour Weekly after these messages.
HMS Motorsport is the leader in motorsport safety, providing the most advanced driver safety products to NASCAR, IndyCar, sprint cars, and sports cars drivers. From grassroots to professional racers, HMS Motorsport has over 25 years' experience outfitting drivers with the best gear on the market. Equipped with first-hand product knowledge, our experts are ready to help you select the best harness belts, seats, head restraints, helmets, and racing attire for your type of racing. HMS is even the exclusive importer for Schroed belts, Schubert helmets, and Valero base layers. Visit one of our stores in Mooresville, North Carolina, or Danvers, Massachusetts, or check us online at hmsmotorsport.com, where you can learn the details of our products and order online. Safety starts here.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
Come to Mobile International Speedway for our season finale on Saturday, August 26th. The Speedway is closing out the year with a barn burner. 6 classes of cars, including the Modifieds of Mayhem. Pro late models racing for up to $6,000 to win. Outlaws, trucks, sportsmen, pure stocks, and crown stocks. And you can't have a finale without fireworks. It's the final race of the season for Mobile International Speedway. Be there.
What creates a winning combination? Quality, focus, discipline, and most importantly, speed. At Pepperjack Kennels, we provide exceptional water and land training services for hardworking retrievers. From leading in the field to leading on the track, together we establish winning dogs and a winning team. Devoted to retrievers and motorsports, we are Pepperjack Kennels. Visit us online to learn more.
Welcome back to Cars Tour Weekly, presented by RNS Race Cars. Jess and JD here with you again today. And JD, Again, you were at Tri-County this weekend for the Old North State Nationals.
Yes.
I've got to write that time. And you can't find a much better place for a huge race like that.
No, Tri-County is awesome. I cannot speak enough about what the Higgins family has done. They've really put a lot of time, effort, and money into this place. They just repaved. The bathrooms are nice. The stands are nice. Everything's painted. Everything's kept up well. This is a great facility.
Let's go to the highlights now. Up first, it was the Pro Late Models. Gavin Bochelle and Caden Kvapil on the front row, with Kvapil gaining the early advantage.
Big wreck with 69 laps to go takes out several cars, including the 27 of Lee Tissot. Aggressive move by Cole Butcher in the 28 as he is able to move by Kvapil for the lead.
But just 7 laps later, Butcher spins, handing the lead back to Kvapil. Kvapil leads the rest of the way to score the win over Dawson Sutton and Butcher.
And it was a big win for Kvapil. He was able to pass Katie Hedinger for the points lead. It may only be one, but he's still ahead.
Next up, it was the late model stocks racing for a cool $30,000, and it was Carson Kvapil and Butterbean Queen on the front row. Butterbean gaining the early lead.
92 laps to go. Kvapil leads after pit stops, but it was the 24 of Mason Diaz making an aggressive move to take the lead in lap traffic. A few laps later, contact from Connor Jones sends the 23 of Cade Brown around and collects the 10 of Kaden Honeycutt. 61 laps to go. Diaz moves the 62 of Lane Riggs out of the way for second.
Riggs returns the favor 6 laps later and then some, sending Diaz spinning. Just over 20 laps to go, Butterbean slows while leading, allowing Honeycutt and Landon Huffman to move by. Restart with 9 laps to go. Huffman moves by Honeycutt for the lead. Huffman leads the rest of the way to take a popular win in front of the hometown crowd.
I'm here to tell you, as soon as Landon Huffman got that win, the crowd went insane. I felt like everybody was there to see him. And to be next to his crew and just to see their emotion, it was phenomenal. Everybody was there, was so excited.
I'm honestly a little bummed I didn't get to witness that in person.
It was cool. It was really cool.
Well, thanks, JD. Coming up next, Caden Kvapil joins us to talk about his big Pro Late Model win at Tri-County. And Cars Tour Weekly, presented by RNS Race Cars, will be back right after this.
One of racing's crown jewels, the 50th annual Oxford 250 returns to Oxford Plains Speedway with 3 big days of racing, August 25th through the 27th. See North America's best short trackers battle for a chance at $50,000 on Sunday, August 27th. Plus, racing for the ACT Late Models, New England Super Modifieds, and more. It's the 50th annual Oxford 250, August 25th through the 27th, and you can see it all on Racing America.
SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel are your all-inclusive motorsports warehouses with more than 450 product lines. They have everything to put you in victory lane, from professional racing to street performance. SRI and Stock Car Steel have you covered with leading brands as well as a large selection of steel, aluminum, and plastics. With locations in North Carolina and Indiana, access has never been easier. SRI has the world's largest inventory of used parts. SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, your one-stop shops for everything racing.
Welcome to Raceface Digital Collectible Cards. Are you a driver or a team looking to expand your brand? Want to connect with your fans, give sponsors more exposure, and earn income from all card sales? Then Raceface Digital has you covered. Digitize your brand with 5 different collectible cards. Enrollment is now open to all drivers and all series. Visit racefacedigital.com today and use invite code RA1.
Welcome back to Cars Tour Weekly, presented by RNS Race Cars. We are joined now by the Pro Late Model winner from Tri-County Speedway this past weekend, Caden Kvapil. Caden, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So we were talking off air. We've had your brother on the show, but I think this is the first time we've had you on the show this season.
Yeah, I believe so. I thought I was gonna be on after Caraway when I won Caraway, and I was kind of surprised when I wasn't. So this is my first time, but I'm excited for it.
Okay. Alan's I was gonna say, well, that's on Alan Dietz, but he's telling me over here that we didn't have a show after that weekend, and that's the only reason.
Yeah.
So don't take it personally.
We didn't forget about you.
Okay, well, we got a lot to catch up on then. I think the biggest story right now is how you're currently leading the Pro Late Model point standings, both driver and owner.
Yeah, by
right?
one.
By 1 point. Holy cow. What are we feeling right now?
I'm definitely feeling nervous. We only have 3 more to go, I'm pretty sure, in the season, but it's 3 really good tracks that all take close to the same setup, we believe, and we're probably gonna be bringing close to what we ran at Tri-County, and we really dominated that race. But we fought hard so far to get the points lead. We fell back a lot earlier in the year from a couple bad races we had, but recently really kicked it in high gear and found our stride, and we've been really knocking out good finishes. I think last 4 had a second, 2 wins, and we were leading the other race and got in an incident in the last lap and ended up finishing like 7th or something. But it's definitely nerve-wracking, only leading by 1, but it's better to be leading than be behind like we were before.
Yes, so you're leading by 1, and according to my notes, Highlands Motorsports also won the 2022 championship last year. Do you feel like that puts extra pressure on you, or do you feel more comfortable knowing that you already have a team that is a contender for the championship?
I mean, definitely a little bit of both. Going into the season, I knew they were really good, and they always brought good race cars to the track. Obviously, with Luke winning the championship last year, it definitely put a little bit of pressure on me to run better and try to go back to back with them, because last year Luke won it when I was racing against him in my own car, my family-owned car. So it definitely puts pressure on me going into this year. But I also feel a little bit relieved knowing that last year's champion, their team, is now with me and I'm racing for them. So definitely a little bit of both, but with only 3 races to go, I think we're in a good spot.
I want to talk about your team, the Highlands race team, for a second. Because they're kind of a new team. It was only just a few years ago, I think, that they
Came around.
started. And I just remember on Twitter, they would always be posting photos from the shop, and they had the cleanest shop ever because there were only 2 things in the shop: the pit box and the race car. It was a totally bare shop other than that, and their pictures just made me laugh every time, because I'm like, oh, well, they're a new race team and they just haven't moved everything in. And it was so funny. It was like an ongoing joke between Travis and I, like, oh, did you see the picture they posted? Cleanest race shop ever. What's it like working with them? What's that group like?
It's definitely really nice. When we go up there, they're up in Virginia, like about 3 hours away from us in Mooresville. So we don't make it up there as much as we like to, but every time we do, the shop's super clean. But it's not like one car no more. They have, I think, 4 now, and 3 of them are basically all ready to go. And they're one car that they won at Bristol with in 2018. So there's a lot more going on now. They have a lot of cars, spare parts and stuff, but they always keep the shop clean. So it's super nice when we go up there to help work on the stuff, because we always know how it's going to look.
Well, a clean shop's always important. So I talked to you a little bit off air, and you said that over the next year or so, you're going to start running supers. And we talked about off air that above you is a trophy from Nashville from both your dad and your brother. Do you feel like there's a little friendly competition within the family of who can outdrive who has the most trophies?
I mean, yeah, I'd say definitely a little bit, especially between me and my brother. We started racing not at the same time, but in the same stuff, different years and stuff. Throughout Outlaw Cards, we raced together for a while against each other for about 3 years as well in the top division. So we've always had competitions and stuff on and off the track. So I'd say when I do move up into higher ranks like supers, as you said, it's definitely gonna be like that, because that's where my dad originated from in Wisconsin, and that's how Carson was running the last couple of years until he started running late model stock. So I'll definitely have to learn a lot from them for sure. But once I do get the hang of it a little bit, we'll definitely have some competition, and we'll see who can win better races and bigger races.
This is something we've been saying around here for a while, but so I grew up in Ohio, and late model stocks are kind of a down here thing. So we're just going to put them aside for this conversation. Supers were like the like the big premier series at all of these race weekends. That's the one that's the big race that you're going to go see. Now, pro late models, I feel like the racing is just as good as supers. The field is just as competitive. I mean, we just had the Masters of the Pros race at Owasso, which has been previously at Nashville. I mean, these are huge races, a ton of talent, and they're starting to be just as good shows as supers.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen a lot of them, especially the Snowflake and Snowball. I feel like the competition in the Snowflake just as close to the Snowball. Obviously, there's a lot of good cars in both divisions, but they have close to the same car counts, if not more, in the pro stuff. I feel like just moving up to super is going to give me a lot more experience, though, with more horsepower. And obviously, like Bubba Pollard and Stephen Nassie, all the main high super late model drivers they run supers, not pros, but they occasionally do. So racing against them is going to be a lot more challenging, but I'm going to learn a lot more, I feel like, going up. After I've only ran pros for a couple of years now, I feel like it's time I got to kind of just move on and try to do bigger and better things.
Well, we are excited to watch. Congratulations on your win this weekend. Good luck in that championship chase that you're chasing down that champion. It's not a chase format. You're chasing down the championship, but good luck and congratulations, and thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Caden. When we come back, we are going to wrap up another episode of Cars Tour Weekly. Stay tuned right after this.
What creates a winning combination? Quality, focus, discipline, and most importantly, speed. At Pepperjack Kennels, we provide exceptional water and land training services for hardworking retrievers. From leading in the field to leading on the track, together we establish winning dogs and a winning team. Devoted to retrievers and motorsports, we are Pepperjack Kennels. Visit us online to learn more.
Welcome to Raceface Digital Collectible Cards. Are you a driver or a team looking to expand your brand? Want to connect with your fans, give sponsors more exposure, and earn income from all card sales? Then Raceface Digital has you covered. Digitize your brand with 5 different collectible cards. Enrollment is now open to all drivers and all series. Visit racefacedigital.com today and use invite code RA1.
Believe it. Right now, racing, in my opinion, is as healthy as it's been in the last 15 to 20 years.
Just wanted to make that first lap.
Go!
Come to Mobile International Speedway for our season finale on Saturday, August 26th. The Speedway is closing out the year with a barn burner. 6 classes of cars, including the Modifieds of Mayhem. Pro late models racing for up to $6,000 to win. Outlaws, trucks, sportsmen, pure stocks, and crown stocks. And you can't have a finale without fireworks. It's the final race of the season for Mobile International Speedway. Be there.
Thanks for joining us tonight on Cars Tour Weekly, presented by R&S Race Cars, your one-stop shop for late model stock chassis, body hanging, turnkey purchases, parts, and baseline setups. Next weekend, late model stocks take their turn at the tight quarter-mile bull ring, Wake County Speedway.
I'm excited for this one. First of all, I love little bull rings. They're my favorite kind of track. But we also got to keep in mind we're close to the end of the season. Some people are due for some payback, and we saw a little bit of some tempers flaring. I mean, it's going to happen, but we saw some tempers flaring at Tri-County. That's definitely going to carry over to Wake County.
Yeah, that's the place to do it if you're going to.
Oh, absolutely. You know? Oh, yeah.
Well, we want to thank Landon Huffman and Caden Kvapil for joining us today. Remember, for replays of the show and more, go to racingamerica.tv and be sure to check out our Racing America 24/7 channel, free on connected devices. And don't forget, racingamerica.com and all of our social channels will have any breaking news from the Cars Tour, NASCAR Cup Series, short track racing, everything in between. Stay with Racing America for championship racing tonight from Wisconsin State Park Speedway. For JD Boucher, I'm Jess Ballard saying see you next week.